Hello everybody and welcome to my latest smart home video, which today is about the Den Automation double socket. This is a follow-on product from the hub and light switch that I purchased a while ago. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to go and watch that because it explains about setting up the hub and then adding the switch to the hub and using the app. But today we're going to be installing this. We're going to be setting it up, taking you through the whole process and seeing what my thoughts are and just explaining a bit more about it. Right, let's get going. Now that I've cleaned that up and on further inspection, this back box that's currently in is really wedged in. This is a exterior wall, so this is all breeze block behind there, and it's all sunk into the breeze block and then plastered around it, and then plasterboard on top of that. So I think I'm just going to leave it in. I've tidied it up now, it's nice and clean. There's bags of room for the new socket to go in. So I'm going to leave that in. I'll save the plastic back box for another installation of another socket at a later date. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fit the socket and get that back in place. Okay, so we've refitted the new Den socket. Because the other socket was a very square socket, it's left a bit of paintwork missing around the edge, but that can be sorted out at a later date. But anyway, the socket's in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the socket up. So we need to go into the Den app. Okay, let's now find the socket. Which room is it in? I'm going to create my own, I think. Lounge. Okay. And then you can turn on and off the sockets using the different buttons. So socket A, on, socket B, on. Excellent. Now previously with the light switches there was a 45-second timeout for it to recharge. I'm assuming this is going to be the same. Oh no, straight off. Ah, that's interesting. So the sockets are an immediate off on, which is good. I don't know why that's different to the light switches, but yeah, so that works fine. Finish. Right, now then, smart tags. These are interesting. These are, you get a little packet of these. I think I got about 4 or 5 in a little pack, and what you do is you I'm just going to put the phone down a minute. What you do is you fit that over the plug that you're going to plug into your socket or whichever appliance you want. And apparently these tags work on a similar basis to the contactless little chip in your credit card when you're doing your contactless payments. So what we can do now is you can allocate that tag to this plug, so that when you plug this plug into any Den smart socket, the socket will immediately know what's plugged in. So if this was an iron or a hair straighteners, or in my case it's going to be the TV, wherever I plug this in, the socket will always know that that is the TV that's plugged in, and when you are out and about you can see what's switched on at home from wherever you are. So that's quite clever. So we're going to set that up now. It is important to know which appliance is plugged into your socket, as they sometimes move around. In my case, the TV, it won't. Add Den smart tags and always know what's plugged in. Start. Name your appliance. Right, well actually it's not just my TV, it's going to be my TV and my speaker system for the TV, and I want to be able to switch them off. They're on like a 2-gang extension lead, which is what this is. So I'm going to create my own, and I'm going to call it, what shall I call it? I think I'm just going to call it TV, because I'll understand what that is. So I'm just going to call it TV. So I've done that. Add smart tag. Yeah, we've put that on. Insert your plug now. That's in. Tag found. TV. Is this appliance a light? No. Never switch off. No. Notify me if left on. We will send you a notification if you've left this appliance on for more than so many minutes. If you don't respond to the notification after 5 minutes, the appliance will automatically turn itself off. So that's good. That's something you can set up if you so desire. But I don't want to be able to do that. So finish. And you can see there it's saying the appliance isn't on. But if I go into there now, there's my TV. So I can switch that on. And I've just heard my speaker come on. So that's working. Excellent. There we go. And it also tells you how much power is being drawn through that plug. So I've got my TV on there, and I've also got my speaker system. And there's even a little symbol there that's showing which plug is plugged in. It's the right hand one. So that's really good. So it also tells you how much power your appliances are using as well. And I think you can do there's bar charts and all sorts you can look at. So that's good. And then here we've got sleep and away. Sleep at night basically means if you're into bed, you hit the sleep button, and whichever appliances you've set up, all those will be switched off. So I can switch any appliances off at a touch of a button that's already been set up in that particular mode. You can also set these sockets on a timer, so they will come on and off at certain times. So I normally have my TV and my speaker system switching off at 11:30 at night, and then it comes on again at 6 o'clock in the morning for when the kids get up wanting to watch all their TV programs. And the away button is simply when you go out the house, you think, oh, I've left everything on. Click that, and it turns everything off that you've set up, and the away button. So that's another thing you can do. You can see there it's showing I've got a light on, which is in my lad's room. You can see that from the reflection, and I've got one appliance on, which I have. It's actually 2 appliances, but I could have separated them into two separate plugs, but I thought I might as well have a spare socket there. Right, that seems to work really good. Right, we'll just have a look at the timer section. Might as well do that now. So I can click on that. Choose which lights and appliances you want the timer to control. Appliances, TV, on, off, one appliance, turn on at, we'll call it 6:30 actually. 6:30, and turn off at, actually I'm going to, yeah, no, I'll do it 11, I think we'll do 5 to 12, 11:55, done. And then you can repeat. Yeah, you can select which days you want that to do, so all are green, so every day it will turn the TV and the speakers on at 6:30 in the morning and turn them off at 11:55 at night. That was PM, wasn't it? Was it? No, it wasn't. 23:55, that's better. Right, finish. Timer set. So that's something else you can do. So I'll keep my eye on that later tonight and make sure that goes on and off. Brilliant, liking that. And of course, with this being just a standard type switch, so a standard type socket, I can just turn that off quite easily if ever I need to, just to isolate the TV if ever I want to move it or whatever. If I go into the room tab, before I just had my lads room listed there, I've now got the lounge in there as well. You can see there on the lounge I've no lights, but I do have an appliance. It's the TV, and you can scroll across to my lads room where I've got lights but no appliances. Something else I've learnt about the Den sockets is something called smart meshing, which basically means that the hub will talk to this socket or whichever socket is nearest to the hub, and then that socket will then boost the signal to a second, third, fourth socket. Any other sockets nearby, it will then boost the signal between them, ensuring that you've got a good signal between all your sockets and appliances within your system. So that's a nice little feature. That's called smart meshing. Okay, prior to fitting the Den socket, I had this lamp plugged in, which has one of my Philips Hue bulbs in it, and I thought, well, I might as well for now just plug it back in as it was and still use the functionality of the Philips Hue bulb, because it does have the dimming capabilities, and I have it set to come on when I approach my apartment. These lights come on just to welcome me home. So rather than mess around with that, I'm going to keep it as it is. But what I've done is I've fitted another tag on this lamp, so it'll tell me how much power I'm using, and it tells me what's plugged in. So we're going to do as we did before. We've put the tag on, and then we just need to plug it in like so. So if we now say, Alexa, lounge lights on, and the light comes on. Let's see if that power reading changes. There you go, 9 watts. So that's a good little indicator. Alexa, lounge lights off. The lights go off, and we should see the power indicator go back to 0. Oh, it's gone back to 1 watt this time. So that's interesting. So it obviously does use a little bit of power when the actual bulb isn't illuminated, because it's still switched on. So the bulb knows when to react. Needs a little bit of power. Right, very good. You can see there the two appliances. I've got the lounge lamp, which has a little padlock on the icon, and the TV has the sort of plug icon. The padlock is saying that that never switches off, so that's sort of locked down. So that's another little indicator. It's a nice little app actually. It's very easy to navigate, very easy to use. Yeah, I like it. I've now got two appliances listed under the lounge lamp and the TV, and on the main screen it's saying there I've got two appliances on, which are these two here because of the smart tags. And I've also got two extra tags that I can use on other appliances. Right, I'm just fitting this second DEN socket, and having removed the old socket, I've found that the Backbox is only 25mm deep, but I can't actually swap it out for a deeper plastic one because this is a solid wall, and that's as deep as it'll go. It's been chiselled out to the right size for that Backbox. So what I'm doing is I'm using the spacer, the 10mm spacer, which just gives you that extra space to be able to fit the wiring in behind, and the socket will fit in just nice. So that will now push in, and I can screw that up using they provide you with longer screws to secure it back into the Backbox. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so that was the new DEN automation double socket. It was very easy to set up. Works perfect. The addition of those smart tags, they're a great little nifty idea as well. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it of use. Again, if you're looking at starting out with the DEN automation products, then I hope it was of use to you. You found some useful information. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. Any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.